Just have to take a quick minute to thank our sponsors, Yellow Dog Paddle, Mackin's Rip and Lips Fishing Trips, NJFishing.com, and 8 Ball Sportfishing. Also have to thank our supporters, Psycho Jigs, Lip Glue, Nor'easter Hardcore Apparel, Hoggy Time Jigs, The Mimi Sick, and The Gambler. Hello and welcome to episode number 137 of the NJ Multi Species Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Santiago. As always, my partner, Chris Pereira.
Oh, yeah. Here we are.
Our guest for tonight, Pamela Otis, had to cancel last minute because of an emergency. But we were able to fill her in with Eddie Mackin, who just won the knee-deep ice fishing contest yesterday. So Mr. Mackin will be here within 10-15 minutes.
And she will be back rescheduled for February 23rd.
Yes, she is rescheduled. So I think the next few episodes in a row are females, actually, now that it's lined up that way.
No, not next week. Next week we got John Scalara from the Hackettstown High School Fishing Club.
Oh, yeah, John. I forgot about that. Real quick, before we get into it, Yellow Dog Paddle is offering trips on the Delaware River this spring. First time they've done that. Also, his trolling trips on Round Valley will continue this spring. If you're interested in taking one of those trips with Mike Herman, Yellow Dog Paddle, you should call and book soon. He will be out on the river as soon as that bite starts. So call Yellow Dog Paddle for your next Delaware River trip.
Yeah, I thought you were going to have Deuce come on as a guest today. What happened to that?
Yeah, we were going to have Deuce come on, and then Eddie offered to come on. So I said, sure. Got to take Eddie on.
Like Eddie's better than Deuce?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Deuce, we do have to interview Deuce. I feel like we have to do it. He's never fished. He runs this fishing podcast after all these episodes. Still hasn't fished yet. He's never left land. Never been on a boat. So, yeah, he's perfect. We have to interview him. Well, we have to take him fishing.
Yeah, he can fish from the shore, and he mentioned his kids were interested in trying fishing, so that's it right there. He's gotta take them.
Shout out to Jen Wong, Adam Mahar is here, Bob Darling's here. Bob Darling's pissed we're late. Wrote a bunch of Z's. Bob Darling through the ice caught a rather large pickerel that got entered into Mayhem, 27 1/4. Bob said it's the biggest one he's ever seen in person, and he screamed when he saw its head in the hole.
You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
No? Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm trying to read the thing. My laptop thing's not working, so I'm reading the comments.
So in the group message, like, I forget, someone said like, "Oh, holy shit, look at this, Bob Darling caught a giant." And like for some reason, so I'm walleye fishing upstate New York, and for some reason I read the word walleye in there. So I thought he caught a monster walleye. And we were having a lot of trouble catching any kind of size in the walleye. We're catching dink walleyes. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm up here. I came all the way up to upstate New York, catching nothing but dink walleyes. They're catching giant walleyes in New Jersey. The walleye fishing is better in New Jersey. What the hell are we doing here? And I just kept talking about it. And then finally Max is just like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Bob Darling caught a giant walleye in New Jersey." He's like, "It's a pickerel."
Yeah, it is a pickerel.
Like, it is? I didn't even look at
the
picture. I just read it as walleye. I don't know why. I guess because I was walleye fishing.
That's like the time Kevin and Max thought we went fluke fishing with John Bon Jovi. They don't listen to things.
Alexis, I think till you just said that right now, Kevin still believed that happened. You just ruined it.
Alexis Ackerman, she's 3D printing pretty cool Mayhem identifiers, and they're like waterproof and shit, like a credit card. She
Do they
has a
float?
bunch of different. I don't think they float, but they do clip to a keychain too. She has a bunch of different colors and stuff. She makes all kinds of stuff with her 3D printer. So if you want to see those, reach out to her, Alexis Ackerman on Facebook, and then it says /Jacob. But yeah, she's selling them. She's actually selling them as her little side business she
And
has.
she makes
Selling.
all kinds of stuff too. Like
Yeah,
she made a bunch of people like
Christmas.
really cool Christmas ornaments, like with
Yeah,
their company logo and shit like that.
I wish I
They
was able to like pull up pictures because I just can't. But
just send her a message or say something. She'll see it. She make
yeah,
all kinds.
she's in here right now. If you could see that on my phone.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there it says stuff for the fish on it. They're pretty cool. So she is selling those. I ice fished myself over the weekend. I took the kids ice fishing. I went to a lake closer to home, and it wasn't good. They did jig fish, but I mean, mostly 3-inch sunfish and like really pencil perch, micro jigging. My daughter was able to get 122-inch pickerel on the tip up, but that was it. Rather slow. And then I posted on Facebook. A lot of people agreed with me, said they didn't do that well. And a lot of people blamed it on the coming full moon. A lot of other guys said the full moon doesn't mean shit. I thought fishing was terrible. I got to blame it on something. Blaming it on the moon. Chuck said his fishing was terrible. He fished both days in a row, said it was horrible. He did get a nice tiger muskie that came into Mayhem. That's the second one, 25 inches. A really beautiful patterned fish. But yeah, he was, I believe, targeting walleye, and it was not good. Didn't
That's
seem good
twice.
anywhere.
That's twice the amount of tiger muskie that came in all of last year. And the one that came in last year, I got like the last 3 days or something like that.
Yeah, you know what? Too, I've never caught a tiger muskie open water in my life. I've caught
Really?
them through the no, I've caught them through the ice with Mark Medusky, but open water. And I don't musky fish that much, but I go enough to probably catch one tiger, and I never have. I don't know if that. I mean, I've caught the
I
small ones.
I think I said it at one point. Like in my head, I estimated like out of all the muskies that I've caught or that have been caught like fishing with me, like they're all kind of occupy the same space in my memory, but kind of estimating them all together, I was saying that I think 1 in 10 are tiger muskies that I've seen. 1 in 10 or 1 in 15, somewhere in that range. And when we were trying to catch one last year, we were at like between everyone that I was fishing with, I think we were at like 20 something and still hadn't seen one.
Yeah,
So
I'd like to. We'll have to ask Craig Lemon what the exact numbers are. How much? I mean, they don't reproduce either, right? It's a hybrid.
yeah, I mean,
Uh, uh,
supposedly no.
Now, Scott Tarnowski's posting this comment into here that the full moon only affects tidal waters, which a lot of people were writing that under the thing. Do you believe that? Because like the fishing on Lake Hopatcong seems to suck in the full moon too.
Um, I've I think that I've noticed changes in the night fishing with the moon phases, but I don't know, man. It's tough to say. And I don't know, when I have a bad day fishing, I'm not looking for an excuse. It's more of like looking for information, like, oh, how do I decide better when to fish? And I don't know if there's a real answer. And I kind of always just fall back on the same answer every time, as if I can go fishing, I'm going fishing. Doesn't matter what the moon's doing, unless the weather's dangerous. I mean, and even then, sometimes still going. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have an answer. I know everyone has their own answers,
Well,
and
I mean,
probably no one's right.
you even went somewhere else that was very far away from here, and you struggled too. Like
Well,
it seems like it
that's the
was
thing.
bad
Like,
every.
we really didn't. Like,
Oh, okay.
numbers wise, we didn't.
Just
But
size wise.
that's more likely, like, that's not probably because of the moon. I would blame that more on just the season. Like, the bigger fish had moved to somewhere else already and we just couldn't catch up to them or find them. That'd be my best guess. But
Yeah,
I mean, we
the other
jigged up tons of small walleye. I mean,
the other thing I have to say is I really got a taste of how difficult it now is to find live bait east of Lake Hopatcong. I mean, there's nothing out here. Like, you can't get bait. Total Bait and Tackle was the closest to me. They didn't even have bait. So that was a major pain in the ass. I actually had to drive to New York to Davis to get shiners and then come back home to get my kids. It was a major pain. But yeah, it sucks. Getting bait is getting harder and harder, especially this direction.
if I was you, I would look into some legal way to catch my own bait or something. That's
I mean,
terrible.
I could catch killies. I have access to tons of killies around my house in the tidal creeks and shit. But
that's what I would do.
I can't get shiners.
I'm sure the killies work. How could they not?
I'm counting on Tackle World. Tackle World, you just moved the locations to your new bigger spot. Perfect spot for a shiner tank in there. Tackle World, Mark Mercer. Let's get some shiners in Tackle World. Be perfect. Did Chris just freeze? Oh, you're back.
I lost you for a second.
Yeah.
They've never had live bait though, right?
No, they do have a nice freezer that has frozen bunker and all that stuff. They have worms, night crawlers, but they just don't have shiners. But they could fit a tank in there in the new place. New place is huge. Nice shiner tank in there. Let Mark could be in charge of it. He'll feed them, right, Mark?
Why not?
I'm waiting. Eddie Mackin should be. Yeah, but bait is becoming increasingly difficult to find, especially east of Lake Hopatcong.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have, Sporting Life right down the street.
I mean, I had Melser's was here. I mean, I had Greenwood Lake Sports Center was there. Frank's Bait and Tackle. We used to have all shops here. They're all gone. Every one of them's gone. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we talk about it so much. I don't know what else to say about it other than just drive it into people's heads. Like, stop by your local tackle shop. Like, if you go fishing somewhere, like if I drive north anywhere near Lake Hopatcong and I need bait, I'm going into Dow's. Sporting Life, like I said, is the closest to me. It's the most convenient. So obviously, I'm using that more than anything else now. You gotta give them your business. You gotta give them, these places, all the places we have left. I think it's safe to say all the places we have left deserve your business. There's none of those old school tackle shops where you walk in and the guy or girl behind the counter is like a douchebag to you and like rude. Like that just doesn't exist anymore. Like, those places are gone. There's no excuse not to go into the local tackle shop anymore, in my opinion. They're all really nice. They're all really helpful. It's real information. It's not information that you're going to get from the guy at Dick's going through his shift.
Oh, and even like I was telling Jen when I walked into Davis Sporting Goods in Sloatsburg, New York. As soon as you walk through the door, tons of ice fishing stuff. All the tip ups, all the different style tip ups. I mean, like, Dick's doesn't have that shit. Like, Dick's doesn't have anything for ice. I think like the one out in Rockaway might have some ice fishing shit, but over here there's nothing.
They operate on like a grander scale, so it's like they kind of get what they get, and that's it. And then when the next season comes around, they get what they get. There's no personalization of fishing gear for that specific area or anything like that. So
I don't know if Eddie's having trouble. Oh, here. All right, we have Eddie. So we're going to back out and get Eddie. Some of these questions Eddie can answer. We will be back 1 minute. All right, we are back. We do have our guest. He has appeared on here numerous times if you want to go back through our old episodes, and he is our original sponsor of the podcast, Eddie Mackin. Welcome back to the NJ Multi Species podcast.
Thank you.
In fact, Pretty sure I'm right. He was the first guest.
First
Right?
ever. First episode.
Yeah, nah,
Eddie
I'm like the biggest guinea pig you guys have. Yeah.
the OG.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I was gonna say Scott Tarnowski is a huge pain in my ass, but we do have to thank him because he hooked us up with you right off the bat, I think, and it's all history from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott Tarnowski also brought everyone over with the Crocodile Dundee hat.
And he hooked us up with Nick Honchevsky too, I think.
Nick and Nick, who's the Nick from New York that sends me the fake eyeballs? Oh God,
what? Oh, Soko Bates.
Soko Bates, yeah, he hooked us up with Soko Bates too. Yeah, Tarnowski knows a lot of people.
You said fake eyeballs. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, he makes the best fake eyeballs ever for ice fishing. Eddie, thrown right into it. We were just talking about bait shops. Coincidentally, you come on here. There's already people asking about Dow's in the chat. We're talking about how many bait shops we've already lost. What do you know about Dow's?
All right. I don't want you guys to hold me like exactly to it, but I believe they're just like looking to gear it down. If you guys are familiar with Bait and Boat on Muskineckon, how they kind of like transitioned out until they were gone. It's very much the same. I run my business out of there. I mean, Lori's like practically like my mother in many ways.
Wait, so they're staying open?
They're there. Yeah. They're not like closing the door. What they're doing, they're just like downsizing and like only going to be open for like a limited amount of hours. That's what I got out of her. Because a lot of people ask me on behalf of the fishing club, of the Knee Deep Club and everything like that, and it's what they do. They just don't want to be married to it like anymore. Like they want to move on, but at the same time, like they want to just like gear it down. They don't want to be there all day every day.
Yeah,
I get it. I mean,
red eye. They're putting red eye, yelling red eye.
I mean, think about it. Like, someone that works. How long has she been running that? Do you know off the top of your head?
Dude, they've been there since like 84 or 85, something like that. Dude, it's a long time. It's 40 years. Over 40 years they've been there.
Who else do you know that works at their job for 40 years and isn't looking to like do some kind of retirement-esque thing to like enjoy more of their life? You know what I mean?
I do not. Everyone deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody. Yeah. To be honest with you, they're doing it because of like it's what they do. It's what they love. It's who they are. And I'd be grateful every day that like there's people like that. They're like salt of the earth people. That like they go out of their way for the community. They still do. They're going to open the door and sell you the bait maybe in the morning, and have bait available or something, or shiners, whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. It's sucks, but it is, at least there's still existing.
Legendary staple of New Jersey fishing, no doubt about it.
Oh, dude, absolutely. There's no one else that's like not even close,
Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, that's cool because the rumor I heard was like it was just going to be gone. Now what you told me here sounds a little better than that. That they're still going to be around a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they're there. Let's just put it this way: they were there. They were selling bait. Signing people up for the contest. Being available. Weighing fish in, still being an active weigh station during our contests and stuff like that. They're just not going to be around all the time. If you were familiar with how Ruth did it from Bait and Boat over at Muskineckon, at the end of that stint of that era, right? That was another bait business that was there for like ever and ever, right? They would just, and I'm not going to tell you that it's exact, but it's very much the same, where they continue to do like the bait, but like, you might only get them there till 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then like that, there's no more business. Like after that, they might close the door. You know what I'm saying? Like Ruth used to be done by noon. Like she'd be done by noon. Like the door was shut and locked by noon. Right. Mm-hmm. But like, they were there every morning to go buy like, your stuff.
I mean, what people don't probably realize maybe is to run these tackle shops, they're available like not 24/7, but pretty damn close to it. I mean, except
she
for like sleeping hours, maybe. Like
she always left me bait 24/7. If you just gave her a credit card
again,
over the phone, she left it out for me.
Yes, yeah, and like I said, to have someone that does that. I mean, there's not many businesses and services of such. You know,
I used to pull up 2 a.m. There'd be 2 bags there that say Joe on them, and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and if you don't know the answer, just say so. I don't know how much detail you have, but to me, the one biggest difference between, say, Muskin bait and boat and Dow's is Dow's has all the herring. They trap all the herring and stuff. That's a lot of work. That's more work than physical work than anything else, probably. What's going to happen with that? Are they going to be able to keep doing that? Is someone else going to take it over?
I have no idea.
Have you ever watched that process, Eddie? Like I've never seen.
No, I grew up around it, dude. It's physically demanding. Yeah, it's not like you just go out there, like hit the button and like it like scoops it itself. They go out there with like the saline and the big, the big net. They got to go net them. You might pull that net and only have like, you pull that net, there might be 50 herring in there, right? Now you just spent like 40 minutes, of your life and with 50 herring in there. And there's probably 3 like 15-inch stripers in there that are beating them to death before you even get them like out into the box. It's just how, you know what I'm saying? Like and then you get days, don't get me wrong, you pull the net and there might be 4,000 in there and you're like, that's a home run, but it's not always like that. And then you go back, dude, it goes so much. I can talk forever about that shit.
Yeah. And you got to do it at like the wee hours of the morning. You can't wait and do that like when the sun comes up.
No. And then there is, it's like a secret out of the bag, but a lot of his success when the herring doesn't respond to the light was netting at like twilight, like in the daylight, just kept pulling the net like blind. But that's when the bigger ones would come to feed. That's when he was being successful. When herring was hard to get, that's what Joe would do. Dude, it was wild. The guy does like, nobody else would commit to their job like that. Nobody, unless you're like someone like a first responder, like someone that goes the extra step to go do something. Like nobody else would work like that. Nobody, dude. Like nobody turned back around to go back and go like, let me go give it one more pull. I've only been doing it for 7 hours already. It's wild, dude. It's totally wild.
And to provide bait for other people, like, yeah, obviously they're selling it. It's their job, but come on. You're not going back and do that, like you said, for that. That's crazy.
They also had to supply basically the whole state. If Dow's didn't get him there.
At one point in time, they were, and even Tarnowski could even probably contest to this one. He could, that the herring from Lake Hopatcong were being sold and distributed. They were like being used on the meat rigs all the way up into the Northeast because like they're not allowed to like net out of like the Great Lakes and stuff like that. The herring went all the way out to like the top of New York, all the way out to like as far west, I would have to say out to like Ohio and Pennsylvania and stuff like that. Like it was like Lake Hopatcong was just like yielding all that because there's nobody else that was netting them and the wholesaler was just pumping them out at the time. But that, that gentleman that used to wholesale and everything, that guy has now passed. And like, that's just a whole nother niche of the whole system, the grid, and that doesn't exist anymore,
These jobs are they're such hard work that it's like you think that when the person doing it now is done and going to retire or stop doing it or whatever, someone else will take up the mantle because it's a good job, but it's so much work that people don't want to do it.
They don't want to.
Yeah. I've been told 1,000 times that you're going to be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a long time if this is what you want to do, and like nobody. That is nobody wants to like take that and be like, yeah, that's a great thing for me. You
didn't make enough friends like in the hunting world that they could give you some meat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's
now, jumping back to knee deep. If I'm not wrong, you just became the new president of the Knee Deep Club again?
Yes, I am.
And now you just won the ice fishing contest yesterday.
Dude, let me tell you something. I was talking about this with my buds. I honestly can't even remember the last time that, let's put it this way. I rolled out of bed at like 8 or like just about 8 o'clock, ran the dows, signed in, went back home, got my shit together, then went out. And when it was only like 5 degrees, went out there and then again suffered the same thing of miserable bite, just like totally sucked. That was the literally only fish that I caught. And then, we sat out in the lake for 7 hours for one fish. But if I was going to catch a fish, I'm glad I caught that one,
How far into the 7 hours did you catch that fish?
Caught that fish at like 11 o'clock. It was like a flurry of hope, I was like, nice,
Wow.
like nice. I was like, this could turn. This could be a thing. It wasn't a thing. That was it. That was like the only thing,
Do you blame the full moon for that?
I can't say. You know what I've always found is that like whenever you get like a front that cranks down with that wind, like a super high pressure with a hard wind like that, it's no different than, I don't care what time of year it is. I mean, man, you see it a lot in like the spring when like, you get the change of season and everything like that. Like you struggle even in the fall. Same. It's that you get that. I don't know. You just kind of know when it's going to be a shit day, and it's just like, it's shit.
Yeah.
It's just a shit day.
The fish don't like change, I guess, is safe to say.
I don't know, but like I would have loved to have been on that ice today. Like I would have loved to have been like there, because it wasn't like we didn't have opportunity. We each had, me and my bud, we got in a spot, we like trying to duck out of the wind, and he was there on the ice like an hour before I was, and like it was just like we had opportunity at different strikes. He had a couple perch and I got that pickerel. Like that was it.
What would you say the ice report is for Lake Hopatcong? Is it pretty much safe
I think dude, it was totally. So there was guys that fished that are, that have home, like lakefront homes over in Davis Cove, right? Which is like, if you were standing at the Jefferson House restaurant looking dead across the lake, right? That's Davis Cove. And like, there's a family over there. They fish religiously, Knee Deep Club members through and through, the McCarthys. Anyway, they fish like right outside their house over there somewhere. They don't like drive over. Those guys are like just like next level, like nuts. They just walk across the entire lake, right? Which is like not bad. It's not terrible, but they, you would, in that wind yesterday, I was like, man, I got to give you credit. I was like, it's going to suck walking back, because like you're just going to get like ripped. But there was ice. The ice across the main lake was, the walking conditions wasn't like super bad. Couple times you would like go through the snow, but like for the most part, it was all pretty rock hard. You had like 5-6 inches of like that hard ice that like the water pressed through and it refroze already. And then for most of the main lake, there was 6-7 inches of black ice underneath. That's like the big lake. I was up on the north end of the lake and there was like 10 inches of black ice. And then like 6 inches on top of that. Like when you were putting a shiner down like the hole, like it's like going like down like real slow. You're like, you got to like go all the way down there. But it was pretty good. They said the state park had like, 10 inches down there. Same thing, very similar. There was like a total of like 15 to 16 from the top down, 10 inches of like good ice.
What would you offer in advice for ice fishermen or ice fisher gals hitting a lake like Hopatcong that's so big? I mean, even for me, I'm used to hitting like a lake ice fishing. You could see the whole lake almost. Hopatcong's so humongous with so many different coves and stuff. Like, what's the best way to approach an ice fishing strategy for someone who never has?
If I was, and it's the same thing I would tell you in the spring, same thing I would tell you in the fall, even like most of the summertime, stay inside of like 8 foot of water. I mean, I caught that pickerel in like 2 to 3 foot of water.
Really?
I was like very shallow flat. Like my shiner was like it was like 10 inches underneath the ice, where I was fishing just the other day. Like, keep them super elevated. Most of your fish are in shallower type of water. If you find weeds, that's a productive place to fish. And then like you don't want to fish it on the bottom. I mean, like you can always like adjust your tip ups or your baits and doing whatever. But I always fish them like middle of the column. If I was in 5 foot of water, I'm only putting that thing down 2.5, 3 feet tops, underneath the spool, and let the bait be seen, let the fish come up. Most of the fish are in Lake Hopatcong, the majority of Lake Hopatcong. I don't even know. Dwayne had like the Squatch. He had a good thing. I don't know. It was like 45% of Lake Hopatcong's like less than like 10 foot of water, some shit like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a pretty good drawn up like long time ago. If you could shake his bell, yeah, it's a pretty big. It's a very very large percentage of the lake is under like 12 foot or 10 foot. So I mean, the majority of the lake, the reason why that lake is so good for pan fishing and everything as it is because of like it's shallow. It also has the diversity of the deep, but most of it's super shallow, and you got a lot of it. And then from there, I would accessible obviously is the state park because you're like your number one access point. And anywhere out there, I mean, like, dude, it looked like it looked like they were like it was nuts. The state park was totally crushed this weekend. There was guys all over the place, but guys caught fish. Guys caught fish. I could tell you. I know that the second place pickerel, the guy had was like a high threes. He caught that out by the state park. There was a guy had a nice bass. It was just under 3 in the contest. Those guys the guys, they brought nice fish to the panfish. They weren't like big enough to place, but they had nice crappies. They had 1.25 pound crappies. I mean, like a bucket full of them. I mean, there's fish down there. It's not like you can't catch them. They're there.
And you guys have another one of these coming up rather soon, right?
Oh yeah, no. February 15th we have one. That's the Sunday.
Oh, that's Valentine's Day weekend. That's Kevin's not allowed out that weekend. He already told me. So Kevin Glenn is banned from leaving his house Valentine's weekend.
He'll be tied up that weekend.
Yeah.
Good for you, dude. Good for you, dude.
I'm gonna see if I can convince Katie that's like get a babysitter, and that's the date. Like,
well, it's the day after Valentine's Day, though.
Ideally,
it's the 15th, I think.
I mean, you're in a different situation. Just take the kids with you, and then that's good enough. You know what I'm saying?
I just did that the other day, so I'm taking a break from that.
I'm still a little bit out from that probably.
Yeah, I know you guys. Yeah, but that's
I wanted to go back though, and because you made such a good point with the shallow fishing, and even when you're a little deeper, not putting the bait all the way on the bottom. Because I've seen over the years, right? And I did it too. For some reason, there's this obsession with, I got to know where's the bottom. I got to hit the bottom and then pull it up a foot or two, and that's where I'm putting my bait. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten away from it, obviously, for the most part. Sometimes it works, especially for certain species.
Anywhere it has its purpose, I'd have to agree.
I have to emphasize what you said about putting the bait up. Like, fish are going to feed up, I don't know, most of the time. I won't give it a percentage, but most species are going to feed up most of the time. They're going to see it. And it's tip-up fishing, right? It's just sitting there. You're grilling or jigging somewhere else. It has time. Let them see it. Let them swim around it. You ever put a camera down? And see a pickerel will stare at your shit for 30 minutes. I've watched a pickerel for 25 minutes just stare at it. I don't do it anymore but just to see it happen that one time, it's crazy. You'd never believe it if someone didn't tell you or you didn't see it.
After you years of doing it, and you catch it now. I don't care where you fish, pickerel are the most productive fish to catch through the ice. Them and yellow perch, right? You catch them all the time, right? If there's a fish, that's what you're gonna get. You'll see when the tip up goes up, right? You'll go over there and acknowledge it, and it's it's never doing to 200 miles an hour, screaming the other way. No, it if you had your button or your marker, you might see it 10 inches out from the spool, and the line's just kicked out to the side. You'll you'll just go over there. You'll gently grab your tip up. You feel the line, and it feels like it's just stuck. You're that fish just came up, just grabbed it, took it down, he's got it, right? He's not running, he's not going anywhere. He's got it, and he's just got the whole thing sitting in his mouth, and it's no different than when they grab your bait or anything else, and you just watch your bobber just it just sinks, and you're okay, he's on it, that. There's nothing more to it, Very seldom do they rip with it, or anything like that,
When I get to the tip up and it's ripping off, I almost know it's a perch that I'm not going to hook because its mouth is about that big. Like those are the
I
fish
want to
that
see him
usually swim the
sit
fastest.
still. When that black thing's not spinning is when I want to take a few comments real quick. Eric Hoyer said you're a great guide. Put him and his son on some great fish last summer.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
BCAM says the HOA pricks were putting weed killer into the lake in late November. And Katie Lynn says you and her have a date to go muskie fishing this year.
Yeah, I did tell her that actually.
Yeah. So yeah, and Jen Wong said he needs to catch his first tiger muskie, but there's no time.
Not even Eddie Mackin can single out the tiger muskie from the regular muskie.
I don't even try, dude. I don't even try. You know what it's like going out there? Like I'm just like trying to beat the lake to death and just watching DCAM. Like all he will be doing is just trying to hook one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all he's trying to do. I'm like just trying to do like everything else.
You take everything else. Let him have the muskie.
Yeah, no, I don't even look for him. I just tell him where I saw him. I'm like, it's over there, dude. Just go get it.
Well,
you know?
Wait, I want to jump back to this whatever HOA dumping weed killer and shit into like how do they get permission to do this, or do they have permission to do this? Like
they have permission. It's the Lake Foundation. They dump in like this. I honestly I can't jog the name for it, whatever. But anyway, it's supposed to like remediate the phosphorus and like all the stuff that's in the bottom of the lake. You know what I'm saying? So like it doesn't regenerate or something like that, and like it strips the nutrients out of the lake of like a level because there's so much of it. I honestly don't know the name of it, but dude, they've been doing it for like 2 or 3 years already.
But is this supposed to like help the lake, or is this something so that like people can swim in like water that looks like a pool? Like what? I misunderstood.
I believe it's supposed to help the. It's supposed to help the lake, like overall, like the longevity and the health of the lake, right? And like that's what they're trying to.
Carlos Navas said you got his son his first pickerel, his first walleye. Carlos. Yeah, a lot of love for Eddie Mackin here in the chat. I can't keep up with all this shit. Eddie, I wanted to ask, with all the tip-ups and ice gear that are obviously all over the lake, how come you don't see more giant hybrids get caught just incidentally on accident? Like you just don't see it that often. Is there any explanation why?
Dude, I can only tell you like 1 year. 1 year is like 2002 or 2003, dude. I was in school. I was a kid, right? So I was like a long time ago. We were sit there and like there was a year where like they were out on Chestnut Point and we were jigging them, like jigging walleye, jigging big walleyes and stripers, and like we would like pray for snow days. I mean, I have like the old Polaroids from Dow's of us just holding like 5-6 pounders
and
that we were jigging.
They just stayed there the whole season.
The whole like that whole like ice season, like it was a thing. You could go out there and just like jig them, and like they hit really, you know, it was like a hard tap, and then like you'd set the hook, and like they do that same death circle, but then like they would get like halfway up and like run like crazy. But coming up out of that deep water, like they would die. Like there was like very few you were able, and you had to like reel them in like really slow for them to like come up. But like you know,
do you ever go looking for that anymore? Like do you search for it, see if it's still out there somewhere?
I'm sure it is, dude. I'll be honest with you, I don't. I just don't. You know, like I just don't. I mean, maybe I'll start. You know, like hunting's like ended. Like I'm pretty much done, wrapped up. Like deer hunting. Like I am done running through the woods. So like my fishing thing will kind of like I'll concentrate more on going fishing. You know,
like Chris, wouldn't you think some live scoper, like just randomly scoping the lake, would eventually find a giant?
You would find them, dude. You got to.
100%. Yeah.
Those guys find them in the fall. They find them in like December, you know, when like, you know, and when the lake thaws in February, you find them. The fish are just like literally on top of each other. You'll think it's like the bottom. It's not. They're literally just stuck on each other. Like they'll just, and then like you could sit there all day, maybe with a piece of chicken liver or jig them or do something. And there you are, like you've achieved it. You caught one in February, you know, like you really cracked the code, you know.
Well, that's
meanwhile, in like 2 months, you could just go catch the shit out of them in 6 foot of water, you know.
Right. It's kind of like you gotta have that mindset where for whatever reason, it's something that you want to do. Yeah, I want to ice fish a hybrid striped bass. And I get it. Like I've had those thoughts. I have those thoughts about all kinds of stuff. You want to do something very specific.
Yeah.
And so you go to do it. And other people might be like, that species is going to be much easier to catch in like 2 months. Like who cares?
Yeah.
But you get in your head, and it's like, it's like we always say, like fishing is whatever you want it to be. That's what's so great about it. You can make it whatever you want. Right. So, but that being said, over the years, I've thought about trying it. I've talked to people who've done it, and I've gotten information from different people. I don't want to like share it because it's not my information to share, but just generally speaking, to answer Joe's question, 100%. If you want to do that and you put in the time, especially if you have like equipment like LiveScope, 100%, you will do it. If you put in enough time.
Oh, so yeah. Cool. And dude, like right now, like this is, and it's been really weird because like the people at Dow's, they were like Lori and Joe, they were like, as much ice as there is, it's been a rather slow trickle of guys coming through the door. It's not like it's dead, but it's not like it's running rampant with like people. But I think it has a lot to do with like the frigid temperatures. I don't think there's a lot of like straight up diehards that are going to go out there and go sit in the 40-foot of water and try to go catch that fish when it's -7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think they exist. Like those people just don't exist, you know.
And a lot of the spots that you would want to do this in, I mean, it's like Hopatcong. It's mostly private property around the lake. There's only so many spots you can get on unless you know someone. So it's a long walk to a lot of these good spots to do things like that. And I think that plays into it too. But now you're talking about ice thickness that is thick enough for machines and stuff. So
for sure. No, that big lake even after this week coming with like a whole nother cold coming, like a real deep freeze. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason you'd be able to fish anywhere on that lake, like anywhere.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to fish that on the 15th. If you're around, Chris, I'll go. As long as I can go with Eddie. I'm not going back there by myself.
Well, you just asked me, and then you said you only go with Eddie. You want to go with me, or you want to go with Eddie?
Which means, Chris, do you want to go fishing with me and Joe? You know?
Yeah, you can find me.
Oh no, I'll 100% go with you guys. I know.
I'm allowed out on Valentine's weekend.
Against each other, I thought.
Yeah.
Not Valentine's Day. I still can't get over that shit. Eddie, I know you wanted to talk about the fishing clubs too, how important they are to New Jersey, and how they've kind of seen a decline. We're kind of trying to start one that we're having trouble. Not trouble, but it's just slower than, shit, as usual. The Knee Deep Club, which has been around for a very long time, could use a boost in younger members, correct?
That's any of them, but yes.
I mean, yeah, it is any. That's why the bait shops do. These young guys are on Amazon and shit, but what do you want to say to young people out there that don't belong to any fishing clubs that might, take an interest in the Knee Deep Club and the meetings and some of the stuff you learn?
I'll tell you from my experience that if you want to learn quick, you learn from the older guys. Keep your ears open and you got to be a part of the community. You want to skip the whole buying the systems and all the gadgets and everything else. I mean, you can't beat knowledge. Knowledge is king. And I straight up told you guys before or whatever, I was taught by some of the best, these old timers that put time. I mean, time and time and time, I was able to capitalize on it, but Jesus, I mean, I was shown from the greatest, the absolute greatest,
And that's real firsthand information. You can't compare it to internet information or social media information, I should say, because you have to sort through so much bullshit. You know what I mean? Getting it right from the horse's mouth, you just can't beat it. And you'll get things. I guarantee you, if you go to a Knee Deep Club meeting or a Round Valley Trout Association meeting and you talk to these old school guys who there's a good chance they don't even have social media. A lot of these guys, a lot of them do now too, but they also, even if they have it, they don't really post. They just kind of use it to, interact with people. But my point is, you talk to those old school guys at these clubs, I guarantee you're going to hear something that you've never seen before on any post or internet article, anything like that. I guarantee it.
Yeah, no, you can't beat like time on, like in the field, on the water, whatever you call it, right? You're just not going to beat that. I mean, excuse me, the meaning to have, shit, man, I don't even know. My head's going like 300 ways. To have the opportunity to walk into somewhere and be like, and like you might not even be looking for it, but just because you're in the realm of that community. And I mean, that could be any of them, Round Valley. I mean, like anything. Those guys, I mean, it's so nichey, right? I mean, like you think you go out there and like, I'm not catching anything. Well, you're not really doing anything wrong. You might just catch out that you might be doing it at the wrong time, timing and all that other BS, that goes with fishing. I mean, like that's what it is, and it's just, I don't know. If I was looking to be better at something or find the upper hand on anything, and I even tell my clients, and like I guaranteed that it comes up through there, that like if people come my boat, Walter Hewitt, a prime example, right? Here's a guy comes on the boat, right? Now I could tell he don't say nothing, right? I mean, like gets on, I tell him like where to go, this is what to do. The guy's just cool as a cucumber, sits there like a clam. He ain't saying nothing, ain't catching shit, right? Guy puts on a lure. He goes, "You think this will work?" I'm like, "Well, Jesus. I mean, like it might. I mean, it might, but you don't know if you don't try." And there's the guy. He's just like throwing something totally different. Smacks 5 walleyes in a row, and I'm like, "Well, whatever that is, I'm buying a bunch of those now." Like that's just that. You don't know. Like you don't know until you try, and you gotta learn. You have to just like sit there. I can still be taught. Anybody should still be able to be taught. And I like, I'm still wet. I'm young. Like I'm young in the game, like there's no reason why you shouldn't take as much as you possibly can take,
right.
Knowledge is king, dude. It's like, it's king.
Couple comments. DCAM said contact him for a couple. He has Knee Deep Club sign-ups for you. Matt Yanetta commented, Knee Deep needs online payment options to be
working on that. Working on that. We have an app that's in the development. I mean, we are very, very close to launch. Very close to launch.
Well, there you go. So that's coming. And Walter Hewitt commented he's in with us for the ice fishing thing. So he's
dude, the guy told me today he was gonna beat me if he did go the whole 9. I can't take his like subtle trash talking,
Oh boy. I don't know, Walter. You might have to go on your own now. You pissed Eddie off.
I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, I was actually. If Matt Yanetta didn't say it, I was gonna ask you. I was like, it's your second stint as the president, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, I know this isn't gonna offend you because you're just back in the role now, but I was gonna say the same thing. Like, I think that's your biggest. I think that's the biggest play. So I'm glad it's already in the works.
Oh, it's already. We're ready to launch. We're looking to have that done by like opening day trout, like the beginning of the year, like when people are like out and about. We're very close. It could be like next week, next month kind of thing.
I'll be honest, dude. Like when I used to live up in Hopatcong and I joined the Knee Deep Club every year. It was easy because I'm in Dow's every week. When I moved away, I'm not in Dow's as much anymore. So you guys would mail out the thing, right, where you could renew.
Yeah.
I got lazy, forgot about it, didn't sign up one year, right?
Dude, it's a huge hurdle for us.
The next year comes around, and sometimes I think you then don't get the renewal in the mail again. So now the only way to sign back up, right, would be to go to Dow's and ask for the sign-up sheet, I think. Or there's probably a couple ways, but basically you have to go and get the physical sheet, right?
We are trying to climb out of that stone age, man. We are. I get it. Like through and through, I get it. Like we have to get there. Yeah.
I think that I will. I didn't sign up to be a member, right? Because like I forget. I'm not in Dow's. As soon as you guys have a way for me to do it digitally, I'm in.
That app will be set on our webpage and on our Facebook page, and it'll be a direct link to go right into it and have it all done. I mean, like we are just like we are not far from launch. That is already made.
Katie Lynn commented she's too lazy to sign up, but if it was online, she would do it.
It's just the truth. It's just the truth.
It is the truth.
I
Venmo Eddie like money every year. Like I just Venmo it to him and say, "Sign me up, dude." Like that's all I do.
Yeah, that's what I should have done.
I don't even fill out anything. I don't. He might just buy coffee with my food and not even put me in. I don't know where it goes.
You're not even a member.
Probably not. I don't.
You bought Eddie and his buddies breakfast Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches.
Coffee. Some of the sloppiest breakfast sandwiches. Yeah.
Oh my God, Eddie! I have to. Is there anything else you want to plug before we let you go and ruin your whole night?
Nah, man, you guys are good. I'm glad that we this actually materialized. It was good.
Yes, it did. There's actually a lot of people still here watching. I don't know what all of you are doing, or are you waiting for the Deuce episode? Because that's canceled. If that's what you're waiting for, it's not.
Hold on, Eddie Mackin can do his best Deuce impression. Go.
I don't think he's ever seen him.
I don't even have a Deuce impression. I barely know him.
He's never seen him.
He's never seen him either.
We need a Deuce episode.
Dude, I think Joe's the only person who's ever seen Deuce. I've never seen him either.
He could not. Maybe I made him up. Might not even be real.
Holy shit. Could you imagine?
Like AI. Yeah, he's like AI.
Could you imagine?
He was at the first Christmas party. If you were at the first Christmas party, you did see Deuce because he was there with his wife at the first one. And then he abandoned us forever.
Yeah, well, we're just joking, but how sick would it be if Joe masterminded this whole thing with like an AI creation and had me fooled and just everyone? That would be great.
That would be the ultimate troll. Eddie, as usual, we always love you. So does everyone else on here. A lot of love for Mackin in the chat room. I have to thank you for coming on the NJ Multi Species podcast and also being a sponsor. You're part of the reason we're able to do this. And we have to thank you for that. Like we said, our original sponsor, our first episode ever. We are truly grateful for everything you've done for us.
Yeah, man, thank you.
And I have to also thank Scott Tarnowski for getting you on here tonight.
Yeah, well, it's just his craziness just runs rampant through the internet, and then one thing leads to another, and I feel obligated, Like I was like, if I don't, the internet's gonna crash tonight, dude. Like it might crash.
There's no telling what could happen. It's definitely not a chance worth taking.
No, I'm glad I came here and was able to put the Band-Aid on that one.
Thank you, Eddie, so much.
Absolutely, guys. It was good.
We do have to fish, though, dude. It's been too long.
We're going to go the 15th. We're going to book it up.
It's done. You're in.
All right. Perfect.
Adios, gents.
All right. Have a good night, bud.
A lot of people, Scott Tarnowski commenting in about sturgeon bycatch. Fast Eddie's looking for a sturgeon salad.
Salad, okay. Caviar or just the meat?
Alexis Ackerman just posted the identifier tags are officially listed for sale. She'll update the post on the group page. Like I said, those are available in a couple different colors. I made one last year and laminated it myself, just like a piece of paper. But what she made is actually pretty cool. If you want to go check it out, I'm definitely getting one for myself.
And I will say, so like I've seen guys like write it on their hand with a marker.
Dwayne wrote it in the snow on one fish. I saw one fish entered. It's written in the snow with his finger.
Yeah, I've seen guys forget and kind of.
Yeah, Dwayne, you need to call Alexis and get a card because we're not accepting snow written fish anymore. You got to buy a card now.
Well, my point I was getting to is like I would write it on a piece of paper and like stick it in a plastic bag. But it's a pain in the ass when it's like, so if it's windy, I've had the shit blow away. I've had it blow out of the boat. I've had it get like little holes in the plastic bag. Like I'm thinking it's waterproof and it gets little rips in it and all of a sudden it gets wet. You can't see it anymore. Like all kinds of shit happens. If you get one of those tags, right, and you could probably attach it right to your bump board. That'd be the most efficient way to do it.
I mean, you could even probably super glue it to the bump board if you wanted to. But yeah, they're cool. And I see they're in a couple different colors. There's a red one, a green one. One says Stuff for the Fish. One says the podcast logo. So she did a really good job as usual. She makes a lot of really cool shit herself that she sells. So head over there and check her out. Send her a DM if you want an identifier.
Do I have to tell like a short version of this sturgeon story, or do we just leave it hanging in the air? I don't know what we do.
I mean, there seems to be a lot of interest in the sturgeon. I don't know. It could be trolling or not, but obviously John Dorn posted photos of all these sturgeon he caught.
I feel like it's kind of necessary, even like as a PSA, just to like give the story.
Okay.
If you want to shout out 8 Ball first, and then I'll just do it, and then we can.
Yeah. 8 Ball Sportfishing out of Point Pleasant is the 6-pack charter that me and Chris primarily will be using from now on. They are a sponsor of the podcast. Captain Dom's extremely affordable and extremely flexible. Kim is the mate on the boat. She's absolutely awesome to be around. And they do a great job. The only thing he doesn't do is blackfish, but he is adding tuna fishing this year. So he is going to do tuna trips. He donated 2 tuna spots to the Mayhem contest. He does after work striper trips on mini rods. And even if you don't have a full 6-pack, you just have 2 or 3, he may fit you in with 2 other people. Or if he's in the mood to fish, he may just take you. You really never know. Like I said, extremely flexible. So call 8 Ball Sportfishing out of Point Pleasant for your 2026 saltwater fishing trip.
And just you reminded me with the tuna trips, just to go through like the bigger prizes that are right now, and there's going to be more guaranteed. But for right now, the current prize list for the NJ Multi Species Mayhem Fishing Club season contest, we got bluefin tuna fishing spot on one spot on bluefin tuna fishing charter with 8 Ball, and 1 spot on yellowfin charter with 8 Ball. Both those prizes. You've got Chuck Manny trip, multi-species saltwater in the summer, all day multi-species adventure with Chuck Manny. Got that prize.
That's honestly, listen, that's the trip of a lifetime. I know a lot of people might not like really understand what it is, but that is the trip of a lifetime. Like when Chuck asks us to do that, I'll drop everything to go do that.
It's one of the coolest things.
It's unbelievable. We have video of it. If you want to see it, it's on YouTube. There's 2 videos because we've done it a couple times, but yeah, that is, if you like multi-species, there is no trip like this in New Jersey. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we've done it quite a few times. I think we've only filmed it in total.
Well,
twice.
I'm not going to, I don't show the videos of the failures. So I feel like you show the videos of the good
but it's never a failure. It's just like if you don't beat the number of species, like he considers it a failure, but it's still fun as hell. Like it's so cool. And it's something that, like, nobody else is going to do it.
He's one of the hardest people to please, ever. You catch 17 stripers over 40 pounds, and he's disgusted, says it's horrible. They suck. I mean, he's very tough. His standard's very high.
The amount of ground you have to cover and different baits and gear that you have to all bring with at the same trip, like, nobody else is going to do this. Like, you're not going to experience this any other way. You're just not.
And you're watching like Chuck Manny, what he's accomplished in his life as a fisherman, and you really think about it and put it in perspective, and you're standing there watching him go absolutely ape shit over a 9-inch oyster cracker. Like he's screaming because you're that excited that you just put another species. That is the trip of a lifetime. I just wanted to throw that out.
That all being said, Chuck's great. We all need to band together and start beating his points down.
He needs to be beaten.
But anyway, yes. You got that trip.
I want to admit right now, I'm realizing I'm not good at ice fishing state water. Like I've been ice fishing private lakes mostly my whole life. Now Mayhem has forced me out onto public water. I'm trying to like fish some waters around where I live, but I'm not doing well. Like I got 1 bass, which I don't even catch those, but yeah, I'm not doing that good. Mayhem's beating my ass so far.
You got soft.
Yeah, I'm going back to public lakes and just, that's it. I'm going back to private water, just vanishing.
Oh, that's fine too. You're a quitter. Anyway, so you got the Chuck Manny, you got the 2 tuna trip, the 2 tuna spots. You got the Chuck Manny trip. You've got a Lake Ontario charter on King's Ransom that he said you could do a trout or a salmon, I believe. Full charter. So it's how many guys does he bring?
That thing that Scott does where you troll for brown trout right on the scum line in the early season, that shit's insane and it's fun as hell. So if you could like win the trip by then and get one of those trips.
Yeah, basically he said he said but when we're giving it away, right? By the time you win it, you will have time to get on a trout trip if you want, or you could book a salmon trip. That was my understanding. But anyway, it's a freaking full Lake Ontario charter with one of the premier boats up there. I mean, these are all prizes you can win. You do have to catch some fish, but you don't have to have the biggest fish. I think some of the ways you win some of these has been set already. It's in the rules. Kevin posted them within the contest. You could drop a comment and we could look it up for you. I don't off the top of my head remember the details, but basically, if you catch a fish that's in the top 5 of certain categories, you have a chance to win. You don't have to have the biggest trout in the contest to win this trip. You have to be in the club, obviously. You have to be registered in the season contest. It's $35 to join the contest.
It is only $35 to join the club, and that includes the saltwater division, which starts April 1st. That hasn't even opened yet. But it's only $35 to cover everything Chris is talking about.
Yeah, and just so we're clear, the $35 entry fee into the club, 100% of that just goes into the pot that goes back out into the prizes and shit.
Yeah, it's like, nonprofit.
Yeah, well, it's not. Now you have to fill out tax information. You just fuck the whole club.
Really?
I don't know. It's some wording thing. You can't call it this or that, but basically,
everything that comes in goes back
100% of it goes back out. But anyway, so yeah, it's for the members. If you're a member, the club is for you. Like anyone that's a member, their opinions matter. I think at the end of last year, wasn't even a full year. It was like a preliminary run. Towards the end of the year, after it was over or whatever, whenever it was, I forget. Kevin, who's the president of the club, basically invited, I think, everyone who had any kind of significant participation in the season contest. He invited them to come to the Elks Lodge, and obviously not everyone came, but a bunch of us went there, sat down and talked. People gave their opinions. How can we make this better? What can we change? Would we keep the same? Blah, blah, blah. And I think the plan is to basically keep that tradition going. It's basically, not to sound cliche, but it's like, it's a club for the anglers, by the anglers, right? Whatever.
It has to be tweaked.
But what else? We got Lord Almighty donated basically, I'm not gonna say a brand new kayak because he did use it once or twice, but it's a fishing kayak.
He made a video. Great shape. It's hilarious. The video is hilarious. Where it is hilarious. But the kayak is in great shape. I mean, and still, like Chris said, $35 puts you into all of this, and you still, I mean, even if you're not interested in the whole multi-species thing, you could still. Where I live, there's a really good run of freshwater striped bass in the spring. Like I'm going to be out doing that, trying to definitely win freshwater striped bass. Like that's just one thing I'm going to go after hard.
You got prize money, like the cash from the pot, from the entry fees that goes out, and it all depends how many members there are, right? So you got the points total standings. That's what you see every week. That's like the main multi-species points standings that you see. Obviously, there's first, second, third, fourth, and fifth payouts in that. But there is enough cash in the pot this year to pay out certain species, right? Is it set in stone? Not
We
sure.
haven't figured all that out. You definitely win a prize if you catch first place of any species. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, you get the,
Bob Darling just commented his brother joined today, so you have to deal with two Darlings now. My brother joined also, so you're going to have two Santiagos to deal. Plus my wife. There's three Santiagos.
and there are prizes that you can win without fishing as well.
But there's another example. There's people coming in just by word of mouth. If you're in the contest and you have other people you fish with, you want to get them in the contest. If they're on your boat and catch a nice fish, you're not going to put in their fish unless you're just a scumbag, but you want them in the contest. So having friends not in the contest is terrible.
I forgot about the sturgeon story, and you already said we were going to do it. Now we're running late.
Do the sturgeon, then I'm getting off of this.
All right, so real quick. So
here you go, Tarnowski. You get what you wanted.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, so there's sturgeon in these waters, right, in upstate New York, right? You're not allowed to target these fish, but they inhabit the same waters as all this good walleye fishing in these places that we're walleye fishing.
Stop to ask something right away, right off the bat. If let's say you illegally wanted to target them, how do you target them? Like, is there a specific method to go after sturgeon?
The only sturgeon fishing that I've done is a different species. It's white sturgeon out in the Columbia River, and they cut up a whole live shad.
So what is these fish were hitting like a Rapala jigging wrap, like, and attacking it?
That wasn't the lure we were using, but basically a jig that you would use for a walleye. I don't know how much information to give. Like, I don't want to be the guy that.
How do you get a fish that large in with 10-pound test?
Dude, that I've never experienced before. So basically, we're jigging for walleye, right? We're catching small walleye, kind of, and the fishery is just kind of like you're jigging small walleye and you're hoping the next one's a big one. You know what I mean? So, jigging small walleye, all of a sudden you hook into something, it feels like you snagged the bottom, right? And then all of a sudden starts swimming away. If you know they're in there, that might come to your mind. If you don't know that, did I hook a muskie? At first you might be like, did I hook a really big walleye? But eventually, a couple of minutes into it, when you realize that you could barely move this thing, you're hooked up to a sturgeon. Now,
there's comments coming in. Scott Tarnowski said that I'm fishing the banks of the Hackensack, and I'm probably going to be shot if I keep fishing alone. But then Craig Lemon commented behind that and said probably shouldn't go there. I don't know if he's referring to me going to the Hackensack or you talking about this story. Craig Lemon,
dude, if he's talking,
he is talking about you. He's talking about you. He just commented.
I'm not the only one go up there. This is like, I'm talking about when you go up there, there's trails and trails. These are very popular walleye waters. This is not something where we like sneak into the woods and fish a river that.
It was a walleye trip, 100%.
These are very popular walleye waters. If they closed these waters to fishing because of the sturgeon, they would probably bankrupt all the businesses up there. So anyway, the point is, I guess it's kind of like a PSA. So I would say if you're fishing for walleye up there and there's sturgeon in the water, like, be prepared to be able to release it quickly. So you're not allowed to target them, which is they're hitting when you're fishing for walleye. So it is what it is. But you're not supposed to take them out of the water. So what they said, John Dorn had a picture posted, whatever. Guys do it. I get if
you don't know where he is though.
Quickly,
he's in a shanty holding a star. He could be in Saskatchewan, and who knows where he is? You don't know.
All right, whatever. I know where I was, right? So, I hooked a sturgeon, right, and it swam. So I had tip ups out for the walleye as well near the bottom, right, a couple feet up off the bottom for the walleye, and that sturgeon ran into the tip up line and just tangled himself in the tip up line.
Oh,
So
really?
like we had to pull this sturgeon through the hole, cut that line. Like I did not want to release this fish with tip up line wrapped all around them.
No.
So I do have that video. I mean, I would hope it's okay to post it, you know, and look at it and use it as a learning experience for people, because this is a very popular walleye fishing area, and there's people walleye fishing everywhere, and they're hooking sturgeon.
Well, would you burn the area by posting the video or no?
How would I burn the area? I'm in a fucking shanty.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't. The tip up's in a shanty?
No, the tip up is like outside, but it's close enough to the dude. It was so cold. There's no way I was putting that tip up like 50 yards away.
Scott Tarnowski said he's already notified New York DEC, and John Dorn will be shortly wearing a set of chrome bracelets. All right. I've had enough of this shit for tonight, I think.
I mean, look, it's unfortunate that this the fish is considered like endangered still, but I heard they are making a comeback and they are considering sampling them or restudying to see if they can open the season. I don't know, but
is that a fish people would keep to eat?
Oh, I think they went almost extinct because they're being taken for their caviar and shit.
Oh,
right?
Really? It's that kind of a sturgeon. I don't know which one has this. Has that? That was a beluga sturgeon or whatever.
I don't know. I would just say anyone walleye fishing, just be prepared to release these fish quickly in the water, basically as much as you can.
Matty Fish, shout out to Matty Fish. I haven't seen him in a while. He just shouted us out. What's up, Matt? All right, we're getting off this. We're done.
Did I cover enough of the story? Are there questions? Is Tarnowski still busting balls about it?
Craig Lemon, Tarnowski said John Dorn's going to jail. Craig Lemon says you should zip it. Just go quiet and not stop talking about it.
All right, I'm done.
All right, who's the guest next week?
Next week, I already told you, but you forgot. I got John Scalara from the Hackettstown High School Fishing Club.
Yes, Hackettstown High School Fishing Club. That's right. And they asked us to make a donation of some of our apparel and shit for their fishing club, which is something that we want to see more schools have a fishing club instead of an Xbox and a Fortnite club, have a fishing club. That's a pretty cool idea. So we're going to talk that stuff next week.
And tell Craig Lemon I'm keeping track all the times he comes in here and harasses us, but doesn't come on the show.
Yeah, Craig, you're 138 episodes deep now. 138 behind deep. We're still waiting for you. All right. Shout out to Craig Lemon again. I will be back next week. I'm done.
I'll consider coming back as well and suffer for the fish.